In this video, I'm going to show a couple of cycles of repetition working in tandem with the LOV pattern from the Tony Plummer book. If you're not familiar with the pattern, you should watch the Robert Gordon 7 Days and LOV videos on my playlist on the channel. There's a playlist of 8 or 9 videos that have some description of what I'm referring to. So what you're looking at on this chart, first of all, I've got the three consecutive love patterns shown here. The love pattern is marked out with the red trend lines, and I've put ellipses over the key points of where the expected highs and lows are to come in at on all 3 patterns, so you can see those. The arrows are marking out 2 cycles of repetition. So I'm using the pivots on the left marked out by the big red rectangle. Cycle 1 is repeating the pivots from here. Cycle 2 is repeating the pivots from here. These are 2 different cycles. One just happens to come and begin right behind the end of the first one. Now I could have also projected this one forward again, but I'm not going to do that just for clarity. So recently I've made a lot of headway and discovered a Bible cycle. So along with my interpretation of 7 of the Gann cycles in Tunnel Through the Air, I've also found a biblical group of cycle lengths that are shorter cycles that I'm looking at here. They're both single and 2 planet cycles that go from and include the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars individually and in different combination. So I'm not going to tell you which 2. I'm using 2 of those here, 2 of the short cycles. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but you can see them. And I'm not going to go through each pivot, but you can see the arrows. I've marked a dozen pivots in each section. So again, these 12 pivots are based off of these 12 pivots as a repetition. These 12 pivots are also based off these 12 pivots, but a different cycle coming through behind that. If you watch my other videos in the Robert Gordon's 7 Days playlist, you know I expect the initial high in this area here between the 2 blue vertical lines. I've marked that with an ellipse. Notice how we got the high and we had a cycle pivot at that point. We expect a significant low in the pattern right at this point inside the pattern. We expect a high here and a high here. Then in the next pattern we get the same things. So all of those are marked. If this looks a little bit confusing, it's not meant to be, but if you watch those other videos and you look at the arrows marking the pivot, so I'm going low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, and high. Those 6 high and 6 low pivots are repeated in the second set of patterns here. So this is an example showing the law of vibration pattern being used with short cycles of repetition. Now these are 2 of the close cycles. I did not incorporate any of the longer cycles like the Saint Marie or the tunnel tidal cycle or the TJ1. I'm just using the shorter ones. These are the shorter Bible cycles. And this is, I've talked about, sorry about that ding. I've talked about these on prior videos and kind of pointed to this stuff plainly. So if you go through, carefully watch the videos I've posted on LOV, you know, the law of vibration, or Robert Gordon, and also look to the videos where I talk about cycles and cycles of repetition, you should be able to figure some of these things out. Anyhow, this is an example of what this looks like with a continuous pattern of LOV. I'm just going to call it patterns. LOV patterns along with cycles of repetition, pointing to some of the key pivots as this moves forward. And you can do this in any market. I'm just using one of the markets that I follow, and I just wanted to show an example of how this stuff works. And I've put out enough where a lot of this should be solvable.